Imagine a version of your world with less drama, more energy, and better connections with your team. It's possible by tapping into the deep wisdom your body holds. To help you expand your perspective and move from fear to freedom for a new approach to project leadership, please welcome Inner MBA graduate and conscious leader advocate, Matthew Fox. Let's hear it for Matthew Fox.
It's August 22nd, 2022. I'm sitting in my home office in Denver, Colorado, celebrating a successful website launch. For the past 6 months, my team and I have been hard at work for our stakeholder, Cameron, to deliver a new, polished website. It's 5 p.m., ready to kick back for the day and relax. My project manager intuition checks in. I'll check my email one last time. At the top of the inbox, a message from Cameron. Matthew, we need to talk. We need to talk? What would you do if you got a message like that? I'm panicking. What do we need to talk about? We spent all day talking. I just launched a website for you. I don't want to talk to you right now. I want to go relax. 2 minutes later, a second email comes in. Matthew, something's broken. In all caps, we need to talk. Well, at this point, my heart drops, my pulse is racing. I'm wondering if I'm going to get fired. I'm about ready to kill my development team. I am about ready to go kill the family of my QA team. Like, what happened? And it's amazing because my head took over. All these terror scenarios. My internal chatter was out of control. I couldn't get my heart rate down no matter what I did. And I was ignoring my body. And I was living from here up. And it's interesting because most of my career, I've lived from here up. Where do you live? And I want to take you back a bit. Actually, I want to play this evening. I want to explore our bodies a bit. All of our clothes will stay on, I promise. It's going to be a vulnerable and special space, and I want to invite you to explore what that's like. We're going to go into sensations. We're going to find out what's happening in this magical alchemy mix called our body. We're going to then go into what does it tell us related to specific emotions, and we're going to have some fun along the way. It's a tool my mentor, Julie Caldwell, taught me called sensation, emotion, want. And I want you to start off with getting in touch with your sensations. I invite you to cast your glance to a safe space or go ahead and close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And I want you to check in with your body and notice what sensations are present for you right now. We've had some amazing speakers this evening. Maybe like me, you're jittery with excitement. Maybe you're feeling cold. Maybe you're feeling heavy. What's happening in your body? I'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and shout out. What are some sensations that you notice? Go ahead. You can shout it out. I'll repeat it.
Tired.
Tired. How do you know you're tired? What does tired feel like?
My legs feel jittery.
Jittery.
Oh. My legs feel jittery, and my body just feels like I want to lay down.
You want to lay down. Awesome. Who else? Can I get another one? Up here in the front.
I'm definitely over-caffeinated.
What does over-caffeinated feel like?
I can't stop blinking.
Blinking.
Little jittery.
Yeah, that little jittery
keep
feeling.
My hands, yeah.
One too many monsters. We can talk later.
Way too many.
Well, it's amazing. Let's see, there we go. Your body speaks. Are you listening? So often I go throughout the day and I'm ignoring my body. I'm up here. As a project manager, I'm worried about scope and budget and timeline and all of these other things that are out of my control, and I'm ignoring the most important device I have, which is my body. Now, the interesting thing about our body is that it's always talking to us, whether we're listening or not. And my invitation this evening is for you to listen. The spaces in between for you to get in touch with what's happening for you. We're going to cover a variety of emotions, and I invite you to check in with your body as each emotion comes up for what you recognize. Each of these has an important message for us, and we're going into the emotion phase. Sadness. Now, sadness is important because it's helping us let go. It may be grief that we heard about earlier. It may be a sensation of loss. For example, maybe you had a training gig coming up and you lost it. Maybe there was an important client that you were hoping to hear back from and they never called back. Maybe you didn't get that speaking gig. Oh, that feels uncomfortable talking to a room full of speakers. That's a big loss. Well, sadness is simply there to help us understand that it's time to let go of something. It's typically going to show up behind our eyes or in our upper chest. Now, sadness is not something we often encounter in the workplace in its true form. Most of the time, it's hidden behind layoffs. It's hidden behind closed doors. It's not something people generally feel comfortable showing out in the open. So we're not going to spend too much time here. Next up, fear. Now, if you are anything like me, you may have a few butterflies flying out of formation before you come up on stage. And that's one form of fear. But I want to bring you back to October 23rd, 2023. Again, sitting in my home office in Denver, Colorado. And I'm talking to Ben. Ben is this amazing creative director we have. The type of person where he walks in the room and the entire room lights up like these bright lights hitting me on the stage. It's as if you wake up in the morning and Ben's gaze is like that sunshine coming up and just hitting you and filling your heart with warmth. Until we had a particularly challenging client call. Ben went from a place of showing up in this amazing space to our team to disappearing. Have you ever had a teammate do that to you? What went through your head? I panicked. Ben's our creative director. If Ben is not in that expanded state or flow state, we're done. We can't get this project done, and we have hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. I talked to Ben. Ben, is everything okay? I'm just stressed. It's challenging right now. It's okay, Ben. I'm happy to listen to you, but let's talk about it. Let's talk tomorrow. I'm tired. I've got a bunch of work in front of me. Now, it's pretty normal when we're dealing with our team that I'll run into blocks like this, that I'll run into these challenging situations of wanting to help. In fact, as a project manager, I often feel like I'm a team therapist. Do you ever feel like you're the team therapist? And I bet even John, when he's running an event, he may feel like the therapist. Or Jo, when she's doing an event. Like there's that moment where you want to help. You want to be there for your team. But when they're coming in and asking for our help, we may be in this place, and after talking to them, we may be here. Because energy can't be created or destroyed. And in that moment, I didn't want to take on Ben's energy. I simply wanted to find out what was going on. We check in the next day. Ben, how are things going? Again, he brushes me off. A week goes by. I have another client call. It's a very challenging call. At the end of the call, I'm questioning if I'm going to lose my job. I'm questioning if Ben's going to lose his job. I have all the questions in the world and no answers. I get Ben on the line again. Ben, how are things going? I want to help. Well, we don't talk about this at work. Why should I talk to you about this? It's okay, Ben. I have this really amazing tool called Sensation Emotion What. Let's give it a try. Okay, that's fine. We can give it a try. We spend the next 20 minutes going through some of the challenges. He's worried about his creative, his work. Is it going to land with the client? He gets into a fear of losing his job. I wonder if I'm going to lose my job. And ultimately, we get to a spot where he moves some of that energy of fear through talking about it and simply recognizing what's happened. Now, he leaves the call and seems relieved. I leave the call and I don't sleep at all that night. I don't know if I have just pushed Ben away or if I've helped bring him back here. And this is the challenge with what I'm going through. I start to shrink a little bit until I talk to Ben the following day. Matthew, I can't thank you enough. It's like this weight was lifted off my shoulders. I thought I had to do something as the project manager. I had to rush in. I had to try to control and fix it. But Ben was back. It was simply holding space and listening to what was going on for him. Now, how often do you let fear get in the way of managing or supporting your team? I know for me, growing up with a father who was a drill sergeant in the Army Reserves, a family who didn't recognize emotions, it was incredibly challenging. I've spent most of my life understanding that emotions aren't safe out here. I shouldn't even recognize or feel them. Until I started working with Dr. Caldwell and understood that it's not about where I am in this expanded state or this contracted state. It's simply recognizing, am I here or am I here? And then making a decision to switch out of it. And that's the important thing that emotions are trying to tell us and why fear is so challenging and tricky these days. Now, fear can show up typically in our stomach. I've spent far too much money on over-the-counter drugs trying to figure out why can't I get rid of this stomachache? Like, it doesn't go away. And that's because fear is one of these things that just sticks with us. It sticks with me. And I want, by the end of this talk today, for you to recognize when fear is happening and for you to have an outlet for it. Now, next up, anger. Anyone here familiar with anger? Yeah, I knew my East Coasters were going to be really familiar with that one. I love you, but it's all that directness. Sometimes I feel like you're just angry with me, and where we're going with that is it's a really interesting space because with anger, what ends up happening is it's a violation of a boundary. It's coming in the sense that we're either getting something we don't want or not getting something that we want. Now, I'm going to go through anger a little bit quickly because it happens a lot in the workplace, but it's an interesting boundary thing because if our shoulders are really tight, we may be angry and not recognize it. And again, because energy can't be created or destroyed, if we're here in anger and we present our team with anger or we're going in because we're angry, suddenly our team is taking that on. And then they're walking around angry the rest of the day or something is happening and they don't know why. Now, I'm going a little quick here because I love joy. Who here wants more joy in your life? Me too. I am giving you permission right now to feel joy with this quick exercise. So we're going to spend the next 4 minutes, and what I want you to do is turn to the person next to you or find a person that doesn't have a partner, and person one is simply going to share what brings you joy. Then person two, after 2 minutes, will share what brings you joy. And what that looks like, for example, while you find your partner, I'll explain what's happening. For me, when I walk down the street, or I was just across the street walking through an RV park, and I met this little dog named Hotshot. And being able to pet that dog, that brought me joy. Seeing the sun crest and actually having a sunny day in Seattle, that brings me joy. I can't wait to hear what brings you joy. Go ahead and share with your partner. Awesome. Welcome back. Now, what I invite you to do again is to go ahead and find a safe space for your glance or to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Now what's happening in your body? What do you notice? Release. What does release feel like?
A rush.
A rush. I thought I heard light. Warmth.
Tingling.
Tingling. Where do you notice the tingling in your body?
In my belly.
In your belly. Can I get another share or two? Opening.
Peacefulness.
Peacefulness. Now, Joy is one of these amazing things because it surrounds us. It's like this effervescent feeling when you pop the top on a soda and it's that shh. That is joy. It's what wants to be celebrated. And I want to take a moment to celebrate you. I'd love to hear what brings you joy. Go ahead, feel free to pass the mic around. I'd love to hear from 1 to 2 people. We have someone right here.
Okay. It's when I feel like I have a compelling message that I want to share with the world, and I do a talk in front of an audience, and I
Yes.
get them all nodding and smiling, and
Like
and
everyone's
right
engaged,
yes,
nodding. That's
yes.
amazing. How about another share?
Mine is all the fun little things that you did as a kid that you get your kids to do. So like driving down a big hill, and all of a sudden you don't hit the brakes and your kids in the back go, wee, because my mom did it, so we do it with them. So my core memory is now passed on to them. Those
And
are the,
it's that moment of
Yeah.
not only joy for yourself, but it's sharing that joy with others. Can we get another share in the room?
Fantastic conversations with new friends.
Fantastic conversations with new friends. For those of you that don't know, there is a house where John has been very kind to host many of us, and there have been many, many late night conversations that I notice a feeling of effervescence walking away. And what I want you to consider and what I want to leave you with as an example of what a longer talk with me looks like is to feel permission for joy. How often do we go through the day and we're in this space of something happens, and then we're living in contraction? Something happens, we get cut off. Something happens, we don't get what we want. And that you have the ability, going through sensation, emotion, and want, to simply get in touch with what it is happening for you and to shift into what you want. My name is Matthew Fox, and I can't wait to hear more of what brings you joy.